No matter how busy your schedule is, if you do these 5 strategies, I promise you, you will hit your goals. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys 5 strategies that if you use, you can live that dream healthy lifestyle that you want. Now, this video has been a long time coming. There's been a lot of comments on my previous videos of asking me or telling me your guys' schedule and asking what I would recommend you waking up at a certain time, going to bed at a certain time, working out at a certain time. So, in order to do justice, I feel like I can't really just comment back because I was thinking over the 15 years, why do I do what I do and live this lifestyle? Because right now it's not that difficult for me to do it, but I know for the normal person out there watching, it looks very difficult. But I've been doing this for 15 years. So I thought back on the past 15 years of all the strategies and tips because I've learned, I've failed, I made a lot of mistakes. I haven't always been like this. I've not always had a schedule like this either. So for those of you who have wanting to get the schedule and lifestyle that I show you guys in my videos, I'm going to give you guys 5 strategies that if you do it, you can live this lifestyle too. Now, this video is going to be more like also, I figured I'd give you the 5 tips showing you what my daily routine looks like and what my roles are. I'm always talking about roles in my videos. My roles, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a teacher, I'm a Spartan, I'm a content creator. As of this week, I am now a student because I'm going back to school for my master's, which absolutely sucks. I love teaching. I hate school though, okay? So I'm going to be taking you through basically a full day of all of that stuff while I show you guys if you do these strategies, no matter how busy your schedule is. I know you guys, I got moms out there who have to take their kids to practice. I know I got high school students. I know I got people that work like crazy late hours, and they're all asking the same questions of what their schedule would look like. Do these 5 strategies, no matter what your schedule is, no matter how busy it is, I promise you, you can start living that DBA lifestyle that I'm always talking about. So sit back and enjoy the 5 strategies because your life is about to change. All right, so it is currently about 4 o'clock, which is usually when I get home from work. And my day always starts the day prior. So I'm going to take you through a full day of eating, but that planning and everything starts now. Now, the 5 tips that I'm going to be going over in this video are basically, I looked on the past 15 years of my life when it comes to fitness and sticking to your workout routine, your nutrition routine, everything, and I came up with 5 that I feel like are probably the most crucial to that. So, number 1 is going to be planning. Now, it probably sounds simple. I'm a firm believer that you got to write down your plan the day prior. Whatever you want to do the next day, write it down the day before. Now, I don't have to write it down anymore because my days look very similar, but when I first started out, I did write it down because there's also something about writing it down and being able to check things off as you go through the day that make you feel a certain way, which will lead to you continuing this routine. Because if you feel good, chances are you're going to want to go back to it. So, you got to write it down. So, my plan for tomorrow, I want to wake up at 4:30. Now, the reason why I'm waking up at 4:30 is because, again, it's going to allow me to do the workout that I need to do prior to going to work. Now, tomorrow, my workout schedule and my training schedule looks like I got core and a chest and tricep workout in the morning. When I get home from work, I got to do my cardio. So I know that my chest and tricep and core workout is about an hour and 15 minutes, which means I have to be inside my house at about 6:30, 6:45 in order to eat, shower, do my morning routine, and then be out the door and not be late for work. That being said, if I got to be in here at about 6:45 and my workout's an hour and 15 minutes, that means I have to be out there at 5:30. Me waking up at 4:30, by the time I wake up, kind of gather myself, get my pre-workout and everything, I could be out in my gym at about 5:30. That's why I say I'm going to wake up at 4:30 because I'm planning ahead. Now, when it comes to planning, you also have to plan out your meals. So I plan out my meals. I plan out my not just nutrition and workout schedule, but I plan out also my family time, because if you don't plan out your family time, there is a high chance that you're not going to be able to fit it in. And I know a lot of you were saying you're struggling with family, sports, kids practice, work and then sleeping and then trying to find time for yourself. You got to break it down. So I know exactly my goal is to wake up, work out, go to work, do what I have to. I get off of work about 3:16. My plan is to get home by about 3:45, 4. Now, as soon as I get home from work tomorrow, I'm immediately going to go straight into my cardio. And the reason why I do that, and when I say straight into my cardio, that means I'm not even going to come inside and see my little girl and my wife. The reason why I do that is because if I come inside and see them, chances are I'm not going to feel like going out and working out. So I don't want to do that. So again, I'm planning on how I'm going to make sure that I get my goal accomplished. Now, you guys can give it a try. You guys might be able to come in, see your family, and be able to go back out there and work out. I don't like doing that just because I know it's setting me up to fail. So again, I plan out that. Now, what I'm doing right now is I'm making my lunch for tomorrow. My lunch every single day is either 8 ounces of lean ground turkey, 8 ounces of chicken thighs, or 8 ounces of chicken breast. Tomorrow, I'm going to do chicken thighs, so 8 ounces of chicken thighs, and then a half a cup of rice. So I will, no, just a half, mama. No more than a half. Okay, we gotta stay lean. My current macros, again, because I plan out my current macros are between 24 and 2,500. So here's my lunch. It's already packed. That means in the morning, all I gotta do is pull it out of the fridge. I'm not gonna waste any time trying to do that. When it comes to planning, I also get out my workout clothes the night before. I get out my work clothes the night before so that as soon as I roll out of bed, I can shut the door behind me. I won't wake up my daughter, my wife, and I could go and get ready and do my thing without waking them up. So, again, when it comes to wanting to live a certain lifestyle, nutrition-wise, workout-wise, fitness-wise, a healthy lifestyle, you have to plan accordingly with which lines up to your goals. If you fail to plan, then plan to fail, as they always say. So that's about it for the first part. Now I'm going to go into, when I see you guys next, it will be the following morning, and you'll see my routine. So tip number 1, plan. All right, so it is the next day. I figured I would do a voiceover because I'm way too tired when I wake up in the morning. So I'm just going to narrate this for you guys. So to start off, as soon as I wake up, I always start mixing my pre-workout. The reason why I mix my pre-workout, because by the time I'm drinking it, I got about 30 minutes before I have to get into the gym. So my pre-workout is a little Flight, which is just pre-workout. I got Endo Pump, which is obviously a pump, and then G1M Sport, which is a carb powder because since I just woke up from fasting, I need a little bit of carb source to get me going. Then as soon as I'm doing that and sipping on my pre-workout, I start stretching because obviously I just woke up and I need to get limber. And then I also do my reading as I'm stretching and drinking my pre-workout. I'm trying to knock out as much as I can. That way I could hit all my goals for the day. So once that is done, I get out into the gym. Typically it takes me sometimes 45 minutes to an hour to get out there. Once I get out to the gym, then again I do some upper body mobility, some lower body mobility, depending on what I'm working out that day, and then get straight into it. I'm not going to narrate my workout because I will do a separate video on this chest and tricep workout, which was extremely nasty. So I'm just going to cue the music and let you guys see some highlights from it right now. Alright, so even though my workout is technically done, I do not feel like talking yet, so I'm going to continue the voiceover. So now that my workout is done, I'm going to go in, eat my breakfast. When it comes to my breakfast, there is a process to it. I come in, I turn on the stove, I grab all my ingredients for my breakfast, which my breakfast is a cup of egg whites, and then some oats, 2 regular eggs, basically oatmeal and then eggs. So I grab all that as the pan is heating up. I'm preparing everything, and I also prepare one of my meals for the day, which is basically 2 servings of cottage cheese and then an apple. That will be what I eat before I come home from work. Now, the reason why I'm telling you all this is because, again, this is all part of my plan to maximize my time and not waste any time, and then come up with excuses later as I do not have time to work out or prep my meals, like the average person will say. So there is a plan behind everything I'm doing here. Again, it's basically just to eliminate and maximize my time. So you see here, basically, I don't really put anything on my eggs besides salt, pepper, and then some ketchup. It works for me, it fits my macros, and then this is obviously what the ending product of my breakfast looks like. And then I take my daily supplements, basically vitamin C, fish oil, zinc, L-lysine, vitamin D, strong reds, strong greens, and then some creatine. I usually mix this up after I'm done eating my breakfast, and then I get ready for the rest of the day. Got to keep that baby monitor present just in case little tuna wakes up, and then I got to go fill the role of being a dad. So I take all my supplements, I pack my lunch into my backpack. That way I have everything I need for the day, no excuses. And then I go take a shower and brush my teeth and get ready for the day. I'm not going to show you guys this part because if you guys do not know how to brush your teeth or shower, you have bigger problems. All right, good morning. Now I am ready to talk to you guys. Now that I'm awake, feeling buff, fueled, showered, shaved, all that fun stuff. So now since I'm done with my morning routine, Since I am done with my morning routine, I'm going to head to work. I'm going to try and film as I drive. We'll see how this goes. I don't have a station for my camera. If for some odd reason I just stop filming or I end up in my classroom, it's because I could not film in my truck. And then I will give you guys strategy number 2 that I will be covering in this video. All right. So strategy number 2 is you have to be intentional with your day. So anyway, strategy number 2 is you have to be intentional of what you're doing throughout the day. If you look at my morning routine, I'm intentional and purposeful, right? Everything I do has a purpose, okay? As I'm making my breakfast, I'm intentional about making sure that my time is not wasted, and I'm using every second in order to ensure that I accomplish my goals. So you have to be intentional when you wake up. If you say you're going to work out, like a lot of people will say, I'm going to start working out, and then when it comes to the actual day, if something comes up, they're more intentional about the other thing as opposed to the working out. When the week starts, I literally plan out. I mean, obviously I do all my workouts in the morning and then usually my cardio in the afternoon. But if I'm looking at my schedule and I know, like, for instance, Cassie has an appointment or something when I get off work. Well, the average person would just be like, okay, I'm not going to work out that day. My intention is to work out. So my schedule literally revolves around my goals. Now, I'm not just talking fitness goals, okay? I'm very intentional about my time with my daughter, my time with my wife, my time doing homework, my time in the classroom. Like, for instance, when I get to work, I'm very intentional that I don't want to be stressing about anything at home. I'm focusing on the task at hand. When I get off of work, I'm going to be very intentional that when I come home, I'm not going to waste any time on my phone or browsing through Instagram. I'm going to jump straight into my cardio so that I could get that knocked out and then get to my next task. Now, my next task, again, this is all about intentionality. I'm intentional about when I'm done with my workout, I'm going to spend an hour with my family and just no phone, no nothing, just be intentional in that moment. I also have to be intentional that when it comes to homework and studying for my master's degree, I have an hour blocked out every single day that when I get home, my wife knows, my daughter doesn't really know, she just knows I go in my room, but the people that matter know that I have to be intentional in that hour. Now, again, when I go into the room to study, to read, to do homework, whatever it is, that for that hour, I'm not on my phone. I'm not on Instagram, I'm not on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, I don't know why I said that, but I'm very intentional in everything I do and in that time period. Where I think a lot of people mess up when it comes to sticking to their workout strategy, they're not intentional with their time, and then before they know it, their day is gone. Like, they say, oh, I'm going to work out at 3 tomorrow, but then when they get home at about 2:30, they kind of sit down and they talk to their family, and then they grab their phone, and now they're scrolling through Instagram, and then before you know it, they're going to watch a show real quick, and the time just, they're not intentional, okay? So for strategy number 2 is, after you plan out your day, you have to be intentional with it. And whatever you have blocked out for that day, when it comes down to it, you got to guard that time. You have to protect that time. If it's your workout time, you need to be out in the gym. If your goal is to work out at 3, you need to be out in the gym at 3 and moving. And if your goal is to work out for an hour, then stop at an hour, get out, and then get on to your next task. So I think that's one of the strategies that, if I was focusing on these past couple weeks, because I've had people say they want to start working out, and when I ask them, they kind of just, they don't stick to it. And one thing I would tell you guys is, you have to be intentional with it. If you say you're going to work out and you plan it, whatever time you say you're going to work out, go work out at that time. No excuses. You got to be intentional. So hope that helps you guys. That's number 2, strategy number 2. So you got 1 and 2. I'm going to be intentional about driving to work right now. And then when I get to work, I don't know if I'm going to be doing any filming while I'm at work, obviously, because I'm with students, and you got to get like permission slips and all that nonsense for them to be filmed, and I don't want to do all that. So when I link up with you guys next, I probably will be eating meal number 2 of the day, which will be my lunch at about 11:30. And then I will give you guys most likely another strategy number 3. So I will catch up with you guys in a little bit. All right, so it is currently like 11:50, and I'm on my lunch, but I made a mistake, and I actually was supposed to show you guys what I ate for lunch, but I was so hungry I finished it, and I ate it all. So I can't show you, but what I did, I had 8 ounces. I basically mentioned it. I made it the night before. 8 ounces of chicken, a half a cup of rice, and then a little Gatorade. So that's meal 2. I'll again show you guys the macros and at the end of the video of what I eat, but it should be around 24 to 2,500. But now that is said, let's get into strategy number 3. Strategy number 3 is kind of a difficult one, but I feel like once you wrap your head around this, there's really no question of if you will work out or stick to a schedule. It's just, that's who you are. And so strategy number 3 is, you got to change your identity. So a lot of people, I've read this in a lot of books on personal development or whatnot, a lot of people will self-sabotage themselves because they have this certain belief that their identity makes them who they are. And what I mean by that is, I personally identify as a healthy person. So my choices that I make throughout my day, since I believe I'm a healthy person, reflect that. When I'm in certain groups, I identify as a healthy person. So if we go somewhere and eat, and everybody knows that I usually, especially staff around school, I don't eat when we have like taco trucks and certain things around campus. They know that I work out in the morning and I work out after noon. That's just what I identify as. If you've never worked out before, you got to start identifying who you are as a healthy person. And ways that you can do this is by changing your environment. First thing I would recommend, because when I refer to fitness, I'm talking about obviously the working out part, but you guys who have been following me know that nutrition is a huge part when it comes to this fitness lifestyle. I would say it's actually, unfortunately, it's like 80%. I wish it wasn't 80%. I wish 80% was working out and only 20% was actually food, because the food is the hard part. But you gotta start identifying. You all have your roles, whether you're a mother, a father, a son, a student, anything like that. You gotta realize and wrap your head around the fact that you need to start identifying as someone who makes healthy decisions. It's just what you are. It's who you are. You are a person that works out 5 days a week. Or if your goal is to start working out, start identifying as someone who works out maybe 3 days a week. Get that into your routine. But you gotta stop self-sabotaging you and really start identifying as someone that's just who you are. You wake up in the morning, you work out. You don't eat that donut unless it's your cheat day. You do your cardio in the morning, you do your cardio in the afternoon, whatever that is. I'd recommend actually sitting down and writing down what you want to be identified, what you want your identity to be. I want people to know because of my lifestyle that I eat somewhat healthy. 80% of what I eat, 90% of what I eat probably is healthy. 10% is fun. They know I work out 6 days a week. They know that fitness is a huge part of my life. And I think that's hard for someone who's just starting out because they have to literally change their identity. But if you don't become aware of that, it's going to be very hard for you to start this new lifestyle. So I hope that helps. Strategy number 3 is you got to identify as someone who lives a healthy lifestyle. All right, so it is currently 3:18 and school just got out, which means I am free to go home in about 4 minutes. But every time before I leave school, I always eat my, I guess you could say, pre-workout meal if I'm doing some type of workout, whether cardio or lifting. So today I got to run some, I think it's 3 or 4 miles. I don't know. I got to look at my program. But in this little container, which I'll show you, I have 226 grams, 2 servings of cottage cheese. And then I got a half a serving of protein. So it's like 12 grams of protein or something. And then I got an apple. So I'm going to eat this. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Let me show you. Now, I know that doesn't look that good, but it's pretty good. Cottage cheese has a good amount of protein, and then obviously plus the protein, and then my apple. So I'm going to eat this, and then I'll head home. It only takes me about, 6 minutes to get home, if that. And then when I get home, I'm going to spend some time with my daughter and my wife, talk to them about their days, and then I got to get to my cardio. Unfortunately, I think it's 104 outside right now. So whether I do cardio outside in the streets is going to suck, and whether I do cardio in my garage, where it's probably like 110, it's going to suck. But regardless, we got to embrace the suck, use the strategies, and move forward. So when I finish my next race, after this workout though, I'll probably give you guys tip number 4. All right, so 3 miles is done. And that absolutely sucked because I did the first mile in my agoge, aka garage gym, and this is how hot it was. Let me show you guys. 112. So that absolutely sucked. But I did my first mile and a half in agoge, and then I did my second mile I did a mile and a half in agoge, and then a mile and a half out on the streets. I like doing it on the treadmill because if I'm feeling any aches and pains, it's kind of a way to prevent the impact, at least I feel. And then I have to do some of it outdoors because obviously my Spartan race that I'm preparing for in October is not going to be indoors. It's going to be outdoors in the elements, so I might as well get accustomed to that. But now that that is done, let's give you strategy number 4 to ensuring that you live a healthy lifestyle. So strategy number 4, I've actually said it in some of my prior videos, but I feel like this is where most people mess up. When you set goals for fitness or a schedule that you want to do or a certain time you want to work out, start small. What I mean by that, if you are someone that usually wakes up at 8 o'clock and you're someone who usually wakes up at 7 o'clock, gets ready, or 7:30 gets ready and goes to work, but you want to wake up early and work out before work, I would not recommend waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Some people are able to do it. What you should do, rather than wake up at 5, is get into the habit of waking up earlier than what you're used to. So if you wake up at 7, I would set your alarm clock for 6:30 and see how you feel waking up at 6:30. And when you wake up at 6:30, obviously you can't get a workout in or anything. But again, we're trying to identify as someone that's healthy. So maybe for the first week, you wake up a half hour early and all you do is stretch or yoga or something for 15 minutes, or even read a personal development book, because obviously you got to work on the mental part of this too. But do something that's waking up a little bit early, and then do it in increments. Once you're able to develop the habit of waking up at 6:30, then the next week wake up at 7. When you do this though, what you don't want to do is you don't want to take a nap in the afternoon. You want to be tired so that you could go to bed earlier and in return wake up earlier. That's in starting small when it comes to like waking up early. When it comes to the diet, if you're someone that's not eating healthy at all, I would not recommend jumping on a strict diet where you do a calorie restriction, you cut out soda, you cut out chips, you cut out sugar. I would start small. If you're someone like me who loves chips, maybe for a week just try to cut out chips. Don't change anything else. Don't, still drink your soda if you're doing that, or eat whatever you want, but cut out one thing for a week. Again, you're starting small. I have a lot of things I do throughout the day. I drink a gallon of water. I have a certain amount of macros I want to hit. I have a certain time I go to bed. I have a certain time I read. I have a certain time I stretch. I have a certain time I work out. But I didn't just start all these overnight. I started small. I started small with maybe just drinking a gallon of water a day. Again, you start to feel, this goes back to tip number 3, you start to form this identity that you do healthy things. And once you have that identity, going back to strategy number 3, it's very hard for you not to maintain, because your body and your mind will fight tooth and nail getting back to its comfort zone. And that comfort zone will be the new healthy identity you have. So tip number 4, or strategy number 4, you have to start small. If you've never worked out before, don't set a program that you're going to work out 5 days a week. I would say set a program where you're going to work out 3 days a week, maybe for a half hour. You hop on the treadmill, you do 30 minutes or 15, 20 minutes of cardio, and then 10 minutes of stretching, and you cut it. When you're able to maintain consistently 3 workouts of 30 minutes, then increase it to 3 workouts a week for an hour workout. This will help. I wouldn't even set certain days where you say you're going to work out, because if you say, hey, I'm going to work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, start of the week, Monday comes around and you skip it, now your mind is going back into, I identify as someone who doesn't work out. You could do this doom loop and you go down. But if you don't set certain days and you say, hey, I'm going to hit 3 workouts this week, if Sunday comes around and you're feeling it and you hit your workout, you're adding to that positivity bank, that identity of you're someone that works out. If Monday you're super sore and you're like, I don't feel like I'm going to work out, that's fine. You technically still have 5 other days you can work out, and you only need to work out 2 of those. If Tuesday comes around and you're still feeling lackadaisical and you don't want to work out, that's fine, because now you got 4 days and you only have to hit 2 workouts. So you see how starting small in the long run, because this is all about the long game, it could set you up for success. You're building that self-identity over time that you are someone who just lives a healthy lifestyle. So step number 4, start small. All right, so now that you got step number 4, I am going to go in, I'm going to take a shower, my second shower of the day, and then I'm going to eat dinner with my family. For dinner, I'll probably show you guys what it looks like. It's very simple, 8 ounces of ground turkey, and then a half a cup of rice with a little bit of rice, or a little bit of cheese on top, and some ketchup. And then I'll probably have it with a Gatorade just to get some electrolytes, because it was freaking hot. But I'm not going to film because it's my family time, so I will probably show you guys what my food is, but I'm not going to vlog because, again, I'm very intentional with my family time, and I'm going to stay off my phone, I'm going to stay off electronic devices, including this, and spend time with my family, because that's one of the things I am very intentional about. So I will catch you guys after dinner. All right, so dinner is done. I am full. I got to spend time with the family. Unfortunately, now for the next hour, it is currently 7:03, and for the next hour, I will actually be doing my homework. So, like I said, I started my master's this week, so now I got to do an hour of reading and studying and journals and discussions and all that trash that I don't want to do. But I'm going to knock it out anyway. So, before I do that, though, I'm going to give you tip number 5, and which is the last and final tip of this video. And tip number 5 comes down to plain and simple. This is something that I am all about, obviously. And when it comes to the reasons why I stick to my goals, the reasons why I do my schedule, and trust me, guys, there's days that I don't. There's days that I lack discipline, I lack motivation, I lack determination, whatever it is. I just don't want to do it. So there are those days. But for the most part, one of the main reasons why I do what I do and I'm able to live this certain lifestyle is plain and simple. It comes down to DBA. I do not want to be average. And what that means is, if you look at the average person in society, they're usually complaining about something. They're usually negative. They're usually not taking responsibility for their life, their actions, whatever. They have that victim mentality. And honestly, they're usually just not happy.
And what I mean by that is talk to people that you work with, see if they're happy, see if they're complaining about it, see if they're positive. I could probably name on one hand. I work with, I think, 70 teachers or 100 and something teachers. I think it's like, no, I think it's 70 teachers. Of those 70 teachers, I could probably name 10, maybe. Probably 10. Get in between 5 or 10 that are positive all the time. And they kind of stand out. And one of the reasons why I love working out and work out and try to live healthy is you start to stand out. You start to set an example for people. People start noticing you. And I think the reason why is because doing this and sticking to a schedule is not easy. It's not fun most of the time. It's hard. You have to develop certain characteristics, but you are in control of your outcome. Whether you're in shape or out of shape, you controlled it. And I think that's what it comes down to, is you have to have that mindset of you just do not want to be average. And when I say that, I have a lot of roles. Like I said, I'm a teacher. I don't want to be the average teacher. I don't want to look like the average teacher. I don't want to talk like the average teacher. I don't want to treat my students like the average teacher. I want to stand out in that role. If it comes to husband, I don't want to be the average husband. I want to refer to my wife as my bride. I want to treat her a certain way. I want her to feel a certain way about me. I don't want to be the average dad. Again, I don't want to look like the average dad. I don't want to talk like the average dad. I don't want to have the average dad mindset. When it comes to being a student, I don't want to, any role, whatever role you have in life, just think of ways that you can stand out. And for what I've personally found out, the easiest way to stand out, especially with how we live today with fast food and fun food everywhere, a lot of people do not take care of their health, their physical health, their mental health, any of that. So if you're able to do that, take care of your health mentally and then take care of your health physically, people start to see that. And when you start to stand out, you start to, again, identify as someone who lives a healthy lifestyle. So that would be my final tip is, and my key, if I was to say, people will say, like, why do you work out, or how do you able to wake up in the morning? I literally, guys, when I say it, I do not want to be average. I only got one life, and when I check out, I don't want anybody to think of me as the average whatever role I have. So the fifth and final one is kind of personal, but if you can get that mindset, I feel like that's the biggest key when it comes to sticking to anything you want to do. So let's recap real quick. Tip number one, strategy number one, you have to game plan. Make sure you have a game plan. Make sure you have it written down, and make sure you take action. Which leads into strategy number two, which is you have to be intentional in everything you do. Your time has to be intentional. Like, I want to, everything throughout my day, you saw that, like, when I'm drinking my pre-workout, I'm stretching or I'm reading. I'm knocking two things out because I'm very intentional of what I want to get done throughout the day. When I'm on my break at work, I'm reading and studying for my homework. That way it's less that I have to do when I get home. When I get home, everything you got to do, you have to be intentional about it. That's tip number two. Tip number three, like I said, is you have to have a certain identity. You have to have that fitness identity. That's just who you are as a person, is you identify as someone who is a healthy person. And tip number four, strategy number four, like I said, you got to start small. Don't start big. If you want to wake up early, don't say, oh, tomorrow I'm going to wake up 3 hours earlier than what I used to. Or if I never work out, I'm going to start working out 7 days a week. That's not going to happen. Start small. All right, sorry about that. I had to adjust it. For some odd reason, it's focusing weird. But anyway, so basically, in order to follow through on the first four key strategies, you have to have and imply and live the DBA lifestyle. That's what it comes down to, plain and simple. You saw it today, how I live my life as a teacher, as a dad, as a father, as a Spartan in training, as a student. You guys all have your roles. Now, do you want people to look at you and be like, you're the average of that role? Or do you want to stand out and possibly lead by example, set a good influence, be a positive impact in society? If that's you, then the first four shouldn't be that hard, because you could use the fifth strategy to get through all four of those. But that about does it for the video. I got really nothing else for you guys. It's going to be a longer video, so I hope you guys stay tuned. If you did stay tuned for the entire video and you made it this far, then you might as well just give it one of these. I greatly appreciate that. Everybody who has been liking it, subscribing to the channel, commenting on the channel, I greatly appreciate you. I'm having a lot of fun at this, seeing all the different comments and questions. I have a couple people asking for certain videos. This thing's starting to be a lot of fun for me, and I appreciate that, because it's really comes down to you guys watching this. So for everybody who's asked me certain tips on how to wake up or how to stick to a diet or how to stick to working out, I hope this helped you guys. I did this video strictly for you guys because I wanted to give you guys my 5 strategies that I feel like if you do them, you will be on your way to living that healthy lifestyle that you want. So I'm going to get into this homework even though I really don't want to, and then I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to do this all over again tomorrow because that is what this is about. Consistency. So I appreciate you guys watching. I will definitely catch you guys in the next one. You guys already know the motto. Stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, don't be average. I will see you guys next time.